Hello guys and welcome to episode 0 of DC Universe Online. This whole episode is going to be leading up to a series where I'll play through the game to level cap, which is level 30 I think. I'm going to, in a week's time, start playing the game, but until then I'm going to walk you through in this video all the options for character creation. And then in the description there'll be a survey, and I want anyone who views this video to go on the survey. It's multiple choice, so it should be quick, and just vote on how they'd like to see me play through the game and what the character would be like. If you've played the game itself already, don't really bother watching the rest of this because you'll know how it works and that. If you've not played the game but assume that you'd know how things work, don't quit the video, watch the whole video, because some of it's unexpected. So like, you'd assume certain powers do certain things, but as I describe later on, they don't all work how you'd expect them to work. So just watch the whole video before voting on the survey. When it comes around to me playing it next Saturday or whenever I check the survey, I'm going to, obviously the most voted one I will use in the character creation, but I'm going to allow myself one option which I can change so that I have a slight input. So you can choose, there's like 10 different options of things that you get to vote for, but I'm allowed to change one of them to anything I want if I'm really annoyed with what you've voted for on that. But then that means that all the others have to stay the same, so I have to choose quite wisely on what that one is. I'm thinking of maybe also doing it where I can have one where I can change it, but it has to go to the second most voted. So say you choose something that I don't like on one of them, I could change it to the second most voted on it. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'm definitely going to do the thing where I can change one of them if I want to. Closer to the date, I'll see if I want to do the thing where I can change it to the second most voted. So yeah, if you've played the game or seen enough of the game to know what it's all about from other people, go on the survey now and vote. If you've not really heard of the game, or you haven't actually played it or seen videos of it, watch through the rest of the video. I'll go through the character creation and show you how it all works, and then next week I'll start the survey. I'll view the survey and start the series with the character that you guys have voted upon. So yeah, I'm going to go into the video now. See you next time. So here we are, right at the beginning of the character creation screen. As you see, you have two choices. They are PvE, which is player versus enemy, and PvP, which is player versus player. The main difference being, in this world you can kill just the non-playable characters, such as like Batman and whoever else would be running around the city. And in this option you can kill all the same people as in here, but you can also kill the opposite side. So say you choose to be a hero, you can kill all the villains and stuff as well when you're running around. So that's some fun. Don't worry that if I choose this I'll never be able to fight villains and that, because throughout the game there's interaction moments and I can't remember what they're called. Well, it doesn't really matter, but like raids and stuff like that you can fight the opposite side. So if I choose this, that'll just mean I can fight them all the time, and if I choose this one, that'll mean that I can only fight them in the instances. That's it, instances. So for now we're just going to select one of these two.
My greatest triumph was
We'll hold to skip these movies because we want to get straight into here. So the next two options are male and female, depending on which one you would like. So for now we'll just go into the male so you can see these different types. Oh, we'll have to go back to show you the other types actually for the women. You've got brute large, brute medium, brute small, striker large, striker medium, striker small, or spark large. It's got a massive head. Spark medium or spark small. It used to just be brute, which was basically brute large, striker, which was striker medium, or spark, which is the small guy. So you either had basically large, medium or small, and they looked like these separate ones here and whatever. But they changed it so that you can have an enormous version of the little guy, whose head is enormous. For now we're just going to choose a striker medium because he's the... Oh no, sorry, we have to go into female and show you these. So you got Mesa large, Mesa medium, or Mesa small. I haven't seen these actually, so it's all new to me as well. Monarch large, Monarch medium, Monarch small. I cannot see a difference at all. Sprite, apart from having an enormous head and looking like an anime. Sprite large, medium and small there. Let me just compare the Monarch large and the Mesa large because I couldn't see. No, not choose it. Mesa large, Monarch large. Oh, it's just their face slightly changes a little bit. So yeah, as before, we'll just go to the middle one. So now you have the two options. You can have inspired by costume, which you can have any of these main characters in the franchise. I'm not going to bother with that though, we're going to go into custom. This woman is really annoying me because she's really loud. So you get hero or villain. That'll be the next choice. Just slot onto hero for now. So powerful, just stands there like that. Serious will stand there looking very serious. Primal will look a bit odd. Flirty. With a woman that looks better than it does with a man, to be fair. Comical, that looks better in a man, definitely. And that's it for those, so we'll just stick on flirty for now. So you have a choice of 3 mentors. I'm waiting for this woman to shut up. Batman, Superman or Wonder Woman. The only difference really being if you choose Batman, your choice, it says all the stuff like your choices will have to be combat affected and stuff like that. I know it says combat is not affected, but it says like stuff like weapons and gadgets and that. All it means is if you choose Batman you start in Gotham, if you choose Superman or Wonder Woman you start in Metropolis. But it's also, so if you want to go to Gotham first you choose that one, if you want to go to Metropolis first you choose if you want a man or a woman. That's basically it. It also depends a little bit on the only thing it changes, the main story arc overall doesn't get affected at all, but the first storyline you do does get affected. So I know if you choose Batman, obviously because you're in Gotham you'll have to do something with like mobs and stuff, yeah, the mafia and stuff like that. If you choose Superman you have to like fight some of Lex Luthor's army or some Starcourt police or something. And if you choose Wonder Woman you've got to fight CSA and her minions. That's the other thing I have to show you, is when we, if we go into villain now and just choose whatever, now you have the 3 options on the other side. So you can have Joker, which is basically Batman of the villain side, obviously, because it will send you to Gotham and all that. Lex Luthor, which is the Superman of the villain side. You'll have the same mission but from the other side as you would with Superman, same with the other 2. And with CSA that's just Wonder Woman's opposition. Now here's the main part, the powers that you're going to choose. You have casual fire, which don't worry about when it says like defense, because if I go to nature, I think it is. Oh no, I didn't understand. On nature it says healing, which is a load of rubbish because most of it is like transforming and stuff like that. So yeah, you have fire, which is clearly, well no, not clearly, I suppose when you say what these are, people are like, oh that's just going to like shoot fireballs and do fire stuff. Yes, mainly, but there's also, because you have to have so many different attacks that they do, there's all stuff like making a volcano erupt and kill your enemies and all this badass stuff like that. Gadgets, to be fair, that is mainly just gadgets, but just some awesome gadgets, some like different types of grappling hooks and stuff to pull your enemies towards you, and lots of shield bubble type things. Ice is basically the same as fire but on the opposite side really. So yeah, fire and ice are linked. I think what's gadgets is control type, so that's linked with the mental type. The first character that I actually got to level cap was mental. He was mental, man. But instead of just being mind control, like controlling enemies, which you'd assume it was, it's more sort of stuff. I suppose it's kind of almost like the Green Lantern, except they've now added Green Lantern powers. It was the original type of like basic Green Lantern thing, so you can like summon like shield bubbles to put enemies in, or like summon things, different things to hallucinogenics and stuff like that. It's really cool though. I chose it just because I don't know why I chose it originally, because I think the first character I had was a ninja, and I didn't really think any of the other ones would suit a ninja. Maybe gadgets, but I went for mental in the end. Nature, as I said before, is mainly like transforming into beasts, and that sounds a lot cooler than it actually is though, unluckily, because I made a character and played through to about level 12, and it takes so long before you can get any sort of good transformations. I think like it's really far before you can like get werewolf and stuff, but when it does it's cool. But to begin with, it's all just like summon things, and I don't know, it's alright, it's quite fun. But and then sorcery I haven't tried before. I haven't tried a couple of these actually. Sorcery is, well, sorcery, lots of like dark magic and light magic, summoning beasts to fight for you and stuff like that. Also, they're not on here because I haven't actually got them yet, because I don't want to spend the money, but there's 2 new DLC packs. One of which is the Flash pack. I can't remember what its proper name is, but that basically gives you electricity powers, and I'm assuming it would be like fire and ice, where it wouldn't just be shooting lightning bolts, it would be like some really cool weaponry type things. Lots of different, because obviously it gets boring if you're spending 12 hours on a game where you're just shooting lightning out your hands. I think to get my first character to level cap it took me about 20 hours or something. Maybe a bit more than that even. Also, the other one, as I said a little bit about earlier, the other DLC is the Green Lantern DLC, which is hard light, so you can basically summon rocket launchers and guns made out of hard light to shoot enemies, and chainsaws and gigantic fans to blow your enemies away, and stuff like all the cool Green Lantern type stuff. I have tried that one on because I have this on PS3 originally, but it's harder to record PS3 than it is here. But basically both those DLCs are like £10 or $15-ish, I don't know. So I don't want to spend that unless you guys choose to have those. But I think they are cool new options, something fun to do. We'll just choose sorcery for now. Now you've got the 3 movement modes, flight, acrobatics and super speed. Not meaning to change your vote or judgment, but acrobatics sounds a lot cooler than it is. It sounds like, oh, it's amazing, you can grapple up buildings and stuff. Obviously with flight you can just fly up buildings and stuff like that. But acrobatics, you can grapple up buildings and cool stuff like that. But and you'd say, oh, surely you can't do that with super speed. Super speed, you can just run up buildings, emphasis like that. Wobbly boobs. Yeah, so they're all practically the same, it's just different ways of getting about it. And like here, you'd assume that you can grapple to different things, but you can just jump across with super speed or fly across with flight. So none of them are really a real benefit for each other, but I would say that with flight you don't get a sense of speed, because you're flying up high. Like with super speed, you're on the ground and you're sprinting across roads and seeing lampposts go past you every millisecond. With flight, however, you're really high up in the air and flying about, which when you even use like your sonic boom flight thing, it just seems like you're flying a little bit faster, and you can see like the wind flowing past you and stuff, but you still like, it still only looks like you're floating past every building once every 10 seconds or whatever, which is the same with super speed. You're going past a building every 10 seconds, but you'll just look like you're going past it because you're closer. So but I don't know, I have tried all 3 of them. I've made 1 character with flight, 1 character with acrobatics and 2 with super speed, but it really doesn't affect me what one you guys choose, because they're all quite cool ways to get around this city. And like the further up in levels you get, say flight for example, you have your normal really slow flight, which is terrible at the beginning, but then Once you get to level 9, you can upgrade that to get the Sonic Boom flight, which means you're just going really fast around, even though it doesn't look like it is all the time. It's quite good for, like, flight's quite good if you want to get a view of the city and stuff, though. That's quite a good cinematic type one. Acrobatics is, in my opinion, terrible until level 9. It's really slow. You can run a little bit faster than you would with flight, but obviously not as fast as super speed. But once you hit level 9, you can start getting stuff like grappling hooks and to get across buildings really fast, like Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man's Marvel and not DC. And what else? All sorts of stuff like to grapple up the roof of buildings really quickly, even faster than you would be able to with flight or super speed. Super speed, you're running pretty damn fast until level 9, when it just basically turns into... I think flight and super speed are the same speed but at different altitudes pretty much. So the original super speed is as fast as the original flight, even though it's would sound like it would be more because it's super speed. And also the Sonic Boom flight is as fast as the second level of super speed. I've always thought that super speed would look awesome with electricity powers, because when you do super speed you already have electricity shooting out your legs, and then if you added electricity with that, you could be running around just like an electrical machine. So we'll just go into one of these. Now you have an extremely broad options with your weaponry. I'm not going to read all these out. You can pause it and read it as I go through them if you want. You've got bow, which is, it says a slower, precise long range, but that didn't look slow when she was shooting it there. You've got brawling, which I've played. It's okay. It's not as fun as you'd think, really. Martial arts is as fun as you'd think. Brawl. If you had to choose between brawling and martial arts, I'd choose martial arts just because you get blades and stuff as well as just fists. Dual pistols. Obviously, all these depend on what weapon power class you use as well. So say I choose ice, then I'd shoot ice bolts out of my dual pistols, or if I chose electricity, I'd shoot electricity out of them. Or say I chose dual wield ice, then I'd be able to like create slashes of ice through the air, or slashes of whatever else I choose. Hand blasts is just shooting whatever one you choose out of your hands, which is quite fun actually. That was my first, not first character, second character I had hand blasts. And that's just like firing lightning bolts out your hands and fire bolts and ice stuff and all that out your hands. Martial arts, you get little hand blade things. It's very powerful, but you do have to get really close. It was quite difficult to get up to level like 10 because you get killed kind of often with martial arts, but then once you were past that you could just own everything. One-handed is a big old one-handed axe or sword, or depending on what weapons you pick up. Rifle is self-explanatory. It's a rifle. Staff, that's what Robin uses in this game, because there's nothing else that they could really choose for Robin, so they just gave him a staff, and it's quite good, the staff. You can get a little bit further away than you would be able to with like martial arts and stuff, but you still have to be quite close to actually attack things. And then two-handed is one big old hammer or big old greatsword or something like that. So all of these, I'll just choose martial arts because that's what I've had before. So now you've got all this information. So you can have male or female, and then whichever one of those you want. Villain or hero. Serious, primal, powerful, comical, flirty. There's one more, I can't remember it. I think there's one more. Mentor. So on the hero side you got Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. If you choose the villain side you got CSA, Lex Luthor and the Joker. Powers, you've got fire, ice, gadgets, nature, electricity, hard light, sorcery. One more. Mental, that's the one. I'm not going to read through the list of those because there's a ton of them. And then movement, you've got super speed, flight or acrobatics. And then you've just got, do you want to create your costume? I'm not going to put any vote for costume because it would take way too long to go through all the options, so I'll just make the costume myself. And then you just choose character name. Here. and then you start the game. So if you follow the link in the description of this video, you'll come to the survey page, and you'll be able to choose all the options that you'd like to see me use. Please don't vote for any options in the comments. I'd rather just have a clear results from the survey. But thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you enjoy this series when it comes out, and I hope you enjoy the fact that I'm letting you choose all the amazing different attributes and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, guys.